what are the most significant challenges you face in transforming workplace culture and leadership? I guess in this specific case, with respect to brand management and the kind of things you do.
Yeah. So the biggest challenge I always face is when there's no clear communication and standards. What I mean by that is I work with so many companies and they might have CPOs, CMOs, CFOs. They'll have a CEO, another co-founder, and board of directors who are more involved as well. And the biggest thing that comes is nobody's clear upon the vision. And so everybody's moving in their own direction. So the CPO is building something, the CMO is creating something, the CEO is trying to tell a story. And there's so many things happening, but nobody is in alignment. So if you actually want to create something, if you really want to scale a business, you want to be better leaders to their teams, you need to first start by having clarity upon yourself. Because if all the people are in alignment, if all these guys communicate with each other, then they know exactly the steps they need to take for their internal teams and the people they're going to delegate to without fighting each other down the road. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. It reminds me of Jim Collins, because he talks a lot about that, right? It's like, if you don't have an agreed upon direction that's unambiguous for everyone, then
Yeah.
it's going to be like herding cats. And like you said, you're going to wind up actually fighting against other people, when it's like, if you don't have a unified vision,
Yeah.
that creates a whole bunch of problems. And if you do, it eliminates a whole bunch of problems.
Absolutely. I
Right.
meet a lot of startup founders and they think that a vision statement is just something they can slap on to impress investors. No, a vision statement doesn't need to be fancy. It needs to mean something that means something to you and to the people who work with you so that they can work towards that. It might mean blabber to other people, but if it means something to you, if it speaks to you, then you have the direction. And so vision truly provides you the direction towards all the different missions you need to do to get where you need to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like that. And that's, again, that channels that, and Reed Hastings in No Rules Rule.
Nice. I should really look into these
And
books.
right, I'll give you, I'm happy to give you a list of all the books I mentioned. And
Yeah.
also one about the Ritz-Carlton, and it's called The New Gold Standard. And it's like, in both of those and a lot of really top organizations, it's like, here is what is known in the military as the commander's intent. And I'm not military, I just know it actually through business books. And it's
Yeah.
sort of like, if we all know where we're going, we will give you standing permission to do X, Y, and Z
Yeah.
to get there, and then just use your best judgment. Or even Disney. It was like, in Disney, they have the Heath brothers, another
Yeah.
couple of my favorite authors, Chip and Dan Heath. And in one of their books, they just call it a generative analogy. Other people would call it identity. And it's just, anyone who's working at Disney is a cast member. So they should behave as a cast member. And a cast member wouldn't let garbage sit on the ground, even if you're Mickey or someone like that.
Yes.
Everybody takes full responsibility, and the results are something good.
And
Okay.
to add to that a bit is that, if you want your team to be able to do that, you need to facilitate a good culture. You need to facilitate that they feel that belongingness. If your team doesn't feel that they belong, I run into so many founders that like, growth is just over hiring. If I want to make if I want to become a billionaire, I just need to hire multiple people. And the reason these companies end up losing out on so many employees every few months and everything is because they're just overburdening their employees. They're not really looking out for them. There's no development for them. And they're just being used as peons to just get the work done.
Carbon-based profit units. Yes, I get that. That's, culture is foundational. Is like, why should I care? Why should I take care of you when your back is turned? If you've treated me badly, there's no real motivation for me to treat you well. Okay, so then the next one is, and it sounds like you've already touched on this in a way, it's like,